Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Thursday episode of the Degenerate Centimeters podcast. I'm your host Jordan, and we are joined with Daniel today once again.
Hey guys.
Before we kick it into things, guys, just a couple housekeeping items. If you're listening on Spotify, we are also available on YouTube, video version. If you're watching on YouTube, we're also available on Spotify, audio version. Um,
Very nice.
and also be sure to check us out on DD Sports Podcast on Instagram. Um, I'll get into a little more in the recap, but I did give out an official play for the podcast on there today for the first time. Yeah, give us a follow on there if you can. But yeah, I got a little bit to go over. We had a little break due to all-star events for both hockey and basketball. I believe Monday it was. Yes, Monday. We go 2-1. We get totally bailed out in the Canada-Finland game. I don't know what happened in the last 5 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
It looked like we were
Insane.
yeah, it looked like we were
Finland
absolutely
tries to make a comeback.
yeah.
It's very impressive. Very good effort, but unfortunately they could not get it done.
They did enough though to cash us.
Yeah, they
So
did enough for us.
yeah,
So,
I'll
I
take
mean,
it.
hey, that's all we care about.
Yeah, USA ends up losing to Sweden, but they were already locked in for the championship game. So
Yeah, I should have seen that one coming, honestly,
I
but
mean,
whatever.
I didn't see the point in benching a lot of people. They did.
I mean, hockey's a rough sport, man. You never
Yeah,
know what's going to happen out there. Sweden is out there wanting to win at least a game in the Four Nations, so,
yeah,
they were going hard like that whole
and
time.
they got it though. So kudos to them.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
Good for Sweden.
uh,
Shout out Gustav Forsling.
and then Duke ends up winning. I believe it was by 18 points. I'm not sure, but they do cover the minus 14 and a half. And all these
Crazy.
other podcasts saying this is like the Super Bowl for UVA. Shut up. It was not. They suck. They got destroyed.
The
So,
Super Bowl.
yeah, 13 and 12
With a
team talking
blowout
about
like
a
that, it
Super
might as
Bowl.
well be,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, okay, whatever. Um, but we go 2-1 up a unit. And we move into yesterday's pick I gave out on the Instagram. I did take Luka Doncic's PRA, points, assists, rebounds. I caught it at 41 and a half. It opened at 37 and a half. Jokes on me, guys. He didn't hit either of those. So not really sure how to go about looking at this Lakers team. I mean, he definitely could have hit it tonight. He almost had a triple double, but he did get into foul trouble. He ended the game with 5 fouls, and the Lakers lose to the Hornets at home tonight. Um, I might make official, maybe taking Lakers spread tomorrow. I think they want this one back for sure, but yeah, I really don't know how well Luca is adjusting to this climate of this team. But we only put half a unit on that. It was just a little player prop fun. Um, we're still up in the past couple days, so I'll take it. We got 3 picks coming at you guys today. One from the Four Nations final, and 2 from the NBA. Per usual, guys, I'm gonna give the floor to Daniel first.
All right, fellas. So for the Four Nations final, the championship, Canada versus USA. Now we are gonna take USA money line. We might be a little biased, or at least I might, because I live in the USA and that's my team. But I think they have what it takes to win this game. They are outside of power play percentage, which they're second in the entire or in this little tournament. They're beating Canada in every major stat, basically. Especially in goals against games in games played, where Canada's at 3 and US is at 1.33. So I think the big story here, what it's really gonna come down to is Connor Hellebuck standing on his fucking head and playing his ass off. All right, this guy has been crucial for the USA team, especially during their game with Canada. The guy, in the only 2 games he's played, he has 1 goal against average and a .957 save percentage. Now, obviously, that's only 2 games, but still, that's pretty impressive in a best on best tournament. All right. Uh, Goaltending for Canada, obviously a little spotty. We got Jordan Binnington with a 2.6 goals against average and a .892 save percentage. So, yeah, realistically, I think both teams have really solid rosters, especially if we get Brady, Matt, Kachuk back. If they come back for this game, There were talks of Quinn Hughes actually joining, but not anymore because he's not on the roster. But we do have Jake Sanderson, which is a pretty solid addition. Um, Outside of that, obviously Canada has, you know, their offense completely stacked and their defense decently stacked as well. All I can say is it's probably going to come down to goaltending, just like it did in their last game. I mean, it was 2-1 until Canada decided to empty the net, and then you guys know what happened. So, yeah, as far as side bets go, we are going to take Zach Werenski for an assist. And why not throw Brady Kachuk in there for a goal? That's all I have. I'm going to swing the rock to Jordan.
Alrighty, thank you, Daniel. Um, so like I said, guys, I have two NBA picks. Forgot to mention, I do have a multiple unit bet for tonight.
Oh
Pretty
boy.
confident in this one, so I'm gonna save that one for last. First game we're looking at is the Celtics at the Sixers. Um, it looked like the Sixers were getting better. They had some nice wins, but I think they're on a 5 game losing streak. Might be more. Um, yeah, I think Joel Embiid missing weeks at a time and then coming back and blah blah blah. I think it's really hard to get a game plan going. And I would argue he is worse, or the team is worse when he's there. Um, but yeah, if you guys don't know what happened last time, the Sixers went up 26 on the Celtics, and the Celtics came back and won by, I believe, 8 points, which is crazy. I believe that is still the biggest comeback we've seen this season. Um, and this is the third meeting. The Celtics are up 2-0 in the season series, so I think they just have their number. Um, I think the Celtics were catching 7.5 points, a little high for me. Like taking into consideration what happened last time. So I decided to shop the player prop market. Uh, Looking at Derek White, I feel like he's a very sneaky player on the Celtics roster. I mean, I don't even know if you consider him a role player at this point because I feel like he's just very consistent. Um, Looking at his points and rebounds line, I caught it at 17 and a half. Not really sure what it's at now. If it goes anything below that, definitely take it. Um, I would honestly go up to like 18 and a half, 19 and a half, but anything above 20, probably not. But on the year, he's averaging 16.1 points per game and 4.2 rebounds. So if he just has, an average game, he's clearing that. He's, right about 3 points and rebounds above what his line is at on the season. Um, I think he can do it with just points alone, really. But I do like having the rebounds there as a fallback. And like I mentioned, this is the third meeting between these two teams. Um, and for this line of 17 and a half, Derek White has cleared it both times. So he's looking to do it for a third straight time, which I think he can. I also like his points, rebounds, and assist lines. And his points and assist lines, they're all pretty solid. The season averages and his recent performances would indicate he would go over. But as far as the lines, you do have to pay a little extra for those. So I'm stick with the points and rebounds. And also worthy of noting, the Sixers are outside of, well, they're in the bottom 10 of the league in field goal percentage. So they're going to be clanging them left and right, hopefully. Let's just hope they clang in the direction of Derek White. So I'm taking Derek White over 17 and a half points and rebounds for 1.1 units. Uh, Daniel, can you turn your sound down a little bit? It was echoing. Oh, it's gone now. Never
Whoa.
mind. We're good. All right. My fault, guys.
Fuck yes.
All right, guys. This is the big game of the night here for me. We're looking at the Grizzlies at the Pacers. Okay. Um, Due to the success of the Thunder and the Cavs, I feel like the Grizzlies have definitely been flying under the radar. They hold the second seed in the West, having a
Yo, my bad, bro.
they have a record of 36 and 18 overall. And the Grizzlies' offense has been insane. They actually take the number one spot from the Cavs in offensive rating. They have the fifth best field goal percentage, sixth best 3-point offense, second in offensive rebounds, third in assists, second in points in the paint. Um, However, worthy of noting, they are not the best defensively. They sit 22nd ranked overall, which is only 1 point or 1 spot lower than the Pacers. However, when we look at some important subcategories of defense, the Grizzlies are actually pretty high. Um, they have the third best opponent field goal percentage, and sixth best opponent defense and an opponent 3-pointer percentage. Sorry, and the Pacers, they're really nowhere near the Grizzlies in any of these categories that I mentioned. A lot of these they are in the bottom 10. Um, and the Pacers have also just overall been a much better team on the road. They only are 14-8 straight up at home and a 10-12-1 ATS. If we look at the Grizzlies, however, they're 35-19 ATS on the whole year and 17-10 on the road, and a very impressive 16-4 in non-conference matchups. Um, and while the Pacers are only 9-10 in non-conference matchups, how the Grizzlies are only catching 3 points, I really don't know. This line actually has dropped to -2.5. If you have that line, or maybe even 1.5, definitely take it. Honestly, I could also probably endorse bumping it up to maybe 4.5 points. But I'm keeping it at the 3. But I want to win 2 units on this one, so I'm doing 2.2 units on the Grizzlies -3. That is going to wrap up our picks for the day. Daniel, is there anything else you'd like to add before we kick it into the recap?
Um, I don't know.
I'll add something. Dana White was on some crazy shit today, guys. Ilya Taporia vacates the title.
Wait,
Volkanovski's
what?
yeah. So Volkanovski,
I didn't hear about this.
yeah.
When did
So
this happen?
today, that's why Volk is fighting Diego Lopez. So
At what time? Like, what time did this happen?
I don't know, maybe like 8, maybe I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, but anyways, so yeah, Ilya Taporia vacates his title. Uh, we're getting Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez in Miami. I really hope I'm able to go to that. That'd be awesome. We also see Michael Chandler versus Patty Pimblett. We're also seeing Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena now. Crazy pay per
Dude,
view cards.
guy's cooking. He's
Yeah, I
cooking.
don't know. He must have saw a drop in the ratings or something and needed to intervene. But
He
yeah,
absolutely did. Oh my god. These last few pay-per-views have been atrocious.
yeah. Um,
And back on track.
yeah. Yeah. So very excited for what the UFC has to bring. We're still very early on in the year. This isn't even like the craziest part of the year for UFC. Usually, when we get to the latter months, is when things really start to pick up. Um, but the thought of Islam versus Taporia, uh, insane. Definitely gonna have a very long episode if that fight happens anytime soon. But yeah, excited to see it. But we'll get there as the time approaches.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna kick it into the recap. USA money line against Canada in the Four Nations Championship for 1.1 units. Derek White, 17 or sorry, over 17.5 points and rebounds for 1.1 units. And then the big fella of the evening, Grizzlies -3 for 2.2 units. That gives us 4.4 units in play for the day. Would love to sweep. If anything, please Grizzlies cover the spread. But that's gonna do it for us today, guys, and we will catch you in the next one.
No go.
Shout out Nuggo.